Washing my hands with toothpaste. Now that my hands are thoroughly cleaned with toothpaste, George, I know you're out here, asshole. Where are you? George. Why you do that to me, man? You gotta be right here by the entrance. You couldn't be out by the damn cabin. Alright. See sound sensors put down before George tickles me in the butthole again. He's George. Why is he screaming at me like a chick? That's the thing that doesn't get me. They should make like a guy who growls or whatever. I mean, that female is a nice jump scare, but if it's a dude, man, we need like a dude growl or something like. Ugh. And it's raining. I left Bleasdale. It was just a couple miles down the road. I wanted to come here, so I brought all my sound sensors and stuff. I wanted to show you that how the weather affects the sound signals. So we do not know on our bunny. No, no. No, not on the bunny. No, no. Hey, Buckle Sniffers, thanks for stopping by. Make sure to hit subscribe and follow for more content. And if you like what you see, definitely give it a thumbs up. Thanks again and have a great day. Hey everyone, chucklenoris here with Ambivalent Gaming, and we're jumping back into Phasmophobia today to discuss sound sensors. These bad boys are about $80 a pop inside the store. They have a few good uses and they have a few disadvantages altogether, but I mostly use them to locate difficult to find ghosts, and we're going to switch on over right now. We're just going to hop right to it. If you don't know what the sound sensor is, I went ahead and loaded all the items in for the game right here, and there you go. It's these little white things right here. Get a little... There it is, right there. It actually looks like if you own a ring, it looks like a ring sensor almost. Not to be confused with a paramic, okay? This is a paramic. This is going to be something for another day. Right now, we're going to be focusing on these little white boxes, and I'm going to show you how to utilize them. As you can see, I haven't grabbed the key yet, so I'm going to jump inside real fast, and then we're going to get set up, and I'm going to show you how to use them. All right, let's see what we got. Back in. You're going to need two things. The sound sensor board and your main map. Okay? If you're looking at your map and you have your sensors up, the yellow squares that you see there are the active sound sensors that you have in the range that they give you. If you click on the clicker, you can see where I have the other two. We're going to go over those. But for now, we're going to focus on these two. This is the office, which is that front room to the left as soon as you walk into Bleasdale. And then I have one set up in the hallway. Alright. If you look at the bright yellow part, that's where the sensor is itself. So I actually have the one in the hallway facing the bathroom kitchen area, and the other one's somewhere in the office. When the ghost goes to interact with anything, whether it's light switching, whether it's opening a door, whether it's knocking something off, or if it's a event type for the ghost, you're going to see it show up on the sound sensors here. So when the ghost goes to interact, as you see, there's doing a little bit right now in the hallway or in the office, it picks up on that sound. Now, I can set these sensors and I can spread them out like I did these two to try to really trace out where the ghost is. But if I have an idea of where the ghost could be, what I do is I set two of them and with a small overlap. So then it really helps me pinpoint exactly where they're at. So right now I'm getting some action in the hallway, nothing in the office. So that's telling me that the ghost right now could be in that hallway area, but not in the tool room. Once I get activity in the office and the hallway, what that ultimately tells me is that the ghost could be in the bathroom or in the tool room. Alright, sorry for the video being so choppy there. So this is also good to keep in mind when you're at higher skill levels, because as you go up in skill levels and the ghost starts to roam, you may want to leave your sound sensors up to see if you actually pick it up anywhere else. If you're in a single story area, you could probably set a perimeter up with the other two sensors just in case it moves a room over. You can still pick up on sounds. If you're in a bi-level, multi-level area, you could probably leave some sound sensors up just in case the ghost moves up or down. So if you're having a seat, right there's my office, and we know he's already making noises in the hallway. So my guess is he would be in the bathroom or in the tool room, maybe even somewhere in that where that is. So that's how you would triangulate where a ghost is if you don't find any EMF, you don't get any spirit box response, if you can't find any orbs. Once you have this triangulation and you have an area where you think the ghost may be, this is when you grab an EMF. This is when you grab your spirit box. Boom. This is when you just go and try to locate the ghost in that area. Washing my hands with floor shampoo. Alright. Enough of that. Hold on. We're going to go over some disadvantages now with the sound sensors. We're going to be looking at the ones that are upstairs. As you can see, boys' bedroom, which is that square right there. And then the bathroom, which is that one right there, which is where I just came from, washing my hands with floor shampoo, as they call it. The disadvantage you will find with the sound sensors are things like your spirit box here. Listening? You hear it? Good. Turn it off. Now get rid of it. If you leave that in a room, or if you're multiplayer, right, you're in a group and they're walking around by the sound sensors with that on, that's what's gonna pick up. So right now you can actually see that the bathroom I came from, and you probably heard it while I was in there washing my hands, was the spirit box was on. That's gonna cause your sensor to cap out there, as you can see. Things like fans and stuff don't necessarily do that. We're actually going to go look at the boys' room right now and examine kind of how the environment doesn't necessarily do it. So the sound sensor will not pick up on your friends talking if you're in a group. It will pick up on the things that they pick up and throw. So if they pick up a cup and throw it, it's just the same as a ghost doing it. If they're clicking things like fans and stuff on, they will. So here's the bathroom where the sound sensor was up. There's the sound sensor. Spirit box. Alright. As we approach the other sensor back here, you can hear the fan. Obviously, it was not being picked up. There's the sensor. There's the fan. Turn it off. Now, there's a good chance it picks up on the click, just like it would with a light switch. Again, anything being thrown. So if you're in solo play, the biggest thing to do is, if you're doing a mass setup, you have to do one or the other. Either you're going for spirit box or you're going for sound sensors to try to triangulate where it could be. If you're in a group, you just want to be mindful that your partners and stuff could be running around, which you'll see on the map. So if you see them in the yellow squares here, you see the little dots moving around, you know that they're actually there. Alright, here we are. We're at the campground. Took me a minute to get here from Bleasdale, but here we are. It is pouring rain. As you can see, these are what the sensors look like on this map. Eventually, the people who created Phasmo are going to change all the maps over to something similar to this. I have all 4 sensors down. I have 2 at the entrance, 1 at the northern path, and then I have 1 inside the cabin. As you can see, the entrance right now has some noise because that's where George is. Alright? And then the path and the cabin aren't making any noise. So this hard rain here, this hard rain is not doing anything to the sound sensors. It's only going to pick up on any kind of interactions, or if the ghost is out there doing something, or if it's making those demonic noises you would normally hear on the paramic. But that's where you can tell, because there'll be some activity going on, and typically with activity you will also get sound. They're not tied all the way together, because again, the ghost could just be standing there and it could be making the whispers. It doesn't have to be an activity. But if you're in a group and you see that there's something going on with the sensor and no activity, chances are it's just a spirit box. Or if you're playing solo, you might have left the spirit box out there. So you just want to be cautious with that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, no. Tell George when I'm done with the video, I'll come out and play. No, I gotta record this video. Yeah, whatever. I'll just tell him I'll be out in a minute. Anyway, let's go over the pros and cons, shall we? Okay. So the pros to this are that you can have up to 4 of these sensors. They're $80 a piece, so that's $320 you got to spend to get all 4. If you're someone who's having trouble finding the ghost, it's totally worth it. Okay, this gives you really good coverage. All right, it can really cover the map. And most places, obviously, places like high school and asylum are much larger. But when you get into medium-sized maps like this one, or you get into houses, the coverage is great. You can cross the sensors over, which really helps you pinpoint down where the ghost is, right? Because if you're getting ticks on both sensors, it really means that they're in that smaller area where you have them crossed over. It does not pick up, the sound sensors do not pick up on weather. I mean, it's raining hard out there right now, and you can probably hear it in the video. Or it does not pick up on ambient noise. So things like the creaks, if you're in a basement of a house, it doesn't pick up on all of that. You know, sounds like someone stepping up above you. Doesn't pick up on all of that. That's nice. It can, though, pick up on the sink. So if the ghost turns on a sink, it's going to pick up on the sink until the sink is turned off. So that's going to be the pros. The cons. The cons is if you're in a group, it can actually pick up on player activity. So if they're picking things up and throwing them around, or they're hitting light switches, or opening, closing doors, or they're walking around with their spirit box, or they're turning on sinks, the sound sensors are going to pick up on that noise. So you want to keep an eye on your map and look for your partner's icons and see if they're actually up there or not. It won't pick up on their voice, however. So if they're using the walkie, or if they're talking inside the room, like they're talking to the spirit box, it does not pick up on that. Excuse me. But it does pick up on spirit box and sink. So if you're by yourself and you've turned on the sink, or you left the spirit box on near a sensor, it's going to get picked up. You want to get in there, turn the sink and the spirit box off, so that way it doesn't mess with your sound sensors here on the board. The other disadvantage you run into, I call it a Ryu. Other people call it a Raichu. The Ryu obviously feeds off of electrical equipment. You don't want to leave these sound sensors laying around. If you think you happen to have one, get them down, get them out of there, so that way this guy does not wreak havoc on you when he's out there running around. Because you know, as soon as he hits something in the electrical range, he's going to get in the hammer lane and he's coming for you. The other thing is, and you can see here on the map, ghost activity doesn't always mean noise. So the ghost was active, we didn't see anything there, and vice versa. So just because you can hear the ghost doesn't mean there's actually any activity going on. Now, you're really using the sound sensors to pinpoint where the ghost is. Activity is not really there. But if you're seeing activity and you don't see any sound, that's just how it is sometimes. So you have to be patient with them, and you have to let the ghost make noises. Other than that, I think that should really do it. I got to get outside. George is waiting for me. I got to solve this case real quick. If you like what you see, remember, subscribe and thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, leave those below, and we'll be right with you. Thank you again, gamers, and we'll see you out there.